This 2006 Volkswagen Jetta has been heavily abused its entire life. Most recently though, the previous owner somehow managed to get the entire interior coated in a very thick layer of dust. I've never seen anything quite like this before, and that only means that I'm in for a real challenge today as I work to make this car look brand new again for the new owner. Okay guys, well as I get to work on the Jetta now, I know this vehicle doesn't have a whole lot for dirt on it, but if you still have an itch for seeing a bunch of mud after watching this video, then be sure to check out the video I released last week where I had 300 gallons of mud to clean out of my drain pit. The ASMR sounds are pure satisfaction, and I have to say, I was blown away by how many of you guys watched that video. I never imagined there'd be so many people who wanted to see that. Starting on these carpeted liners, and while I'm glad they're only in the back here, I'm not sure when they were sprayed out last because there's a very thick layer of dried up mud in there. It looks as though this car has likely been washed every once in a while, but touchless car washes aren't going to be able to do more than scratch the surface, considering it takes a few minutes with a pressure washer up close to get them clean. Now as I spray off the underside here, I made sure to stop on these rusted through spots because I could see there was a ton of mud caked on inside the rocker panel. Okay, after getting as much of the leaves and twigs out by hand as I could, the rest is going to have to be blasted out, but like I always say, doing this isn't for the faint of heart. It's definitely a risky endeavor and something you should only do if you've got full confidence in your skills or your ability to clean up a big wet mess inside the car afterwards if things go south. finished getting the car washed and dried here, I wanted to let you know that there is a brand new Yard Geek video that was just released over on my other channel, the Yard Geek. This episode I'm working on weed control, but losing the battle as my entire yard is covered once again, and I start work on another project in the peninsula where I make an absolutely shocking discovery. This is one you don't want to miss, so be sure to head over there after this video to check it out, and while you're there, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. You won't regret it. Moving to the interior now, and with the seats out, it's a lot easier to see just how much dust is on the carpets, along with a bunch of dog hair and what looks like straw, which tells me that this car likely spent some of its life out in the country somewhere. Now, unfortunately for me, this Jetta has pretty poor quality carpet that's making it difficult to get all the small debris lifted out. Although with enough agitation, I did find success and managed to get the carpets perfectly clean, with the exception of the stains, which I'll deal with later. Well, as I continue working on the seats here, I unfortunately don't have much background info to give you guys about this car, except that it was recently purchased at an auction and that it has well over 200,000 kilometers on it. The new owner obviously wanted to get it cleaned up, as it's definitely got some life left in it, though I doubt he's going to take care of the rusted out rocker panels because the car really isn't worth enough for that to make sense. Okay, as I continue vacuuming, if any of you out there are wondering about my vacuum and what sort of setup I have here, then I definitely recommend you check out the studio tour video that I did a couple of years ago. I walked through the whole shop and studio and explained my entire setup, along with all the reasoning behind the design and finishing choices that I made. If you're interested in learning about that, then I'm sure you'll enjoy that video. Moving up to the dash where the dust was the thickest, and while I've had to do this on lots of vehicles before, I can safely say that this one was the worst. The dust was so thick and honestly just makes me super curious to find out how this happened. My first thought is a lot of gravel roads with a window down, or perhaps some of the weather stripping around the doors was letting dust in. Either way though, I think it's clear this car has seen a lot of gravel. Now as I continue extracting the seats, I'd say things have gone pretty smoothly so far. Everything seems to be coming out, so I'm confident at this point that the upholstery is going to look really good when I'm done today, all thanks to my carpet cleaner and drill brush combo. You can find it over on my website at detailgeekautocare.com, where we're putting the final touches on our Black Friday sale that will start next Friday, November 1st. It's going to be our biggest one ever. Here's the half bucket full of nasty water sucked out of the Jetta today. Gross. Now as I work on getting all the plastics clean, I have to admit that I'm a little surprised at how good of a job my detail brush and the vacuum did earlier. That leads me to believe that the dust wasn't sitting for a crazy extended period of time, because when it does, it's usually pretty caked on, and there really isn't a whole lot of dust left right now. That just makes my job easier, and that's always a good thing. Okay, with some of my ceramic spray coating in hand, I'll quickly get some applied to this beat up paint to at least bring a little depth and shine back to it. Now, even though these headlights look terrible and should honestly just be replaced, I'm going ahead and using some of my finishing polish to at least bring some clarity back to them. Okay, as you guys might have guessed that the inside of the windshield here was absolutely covered in dust too, I made sure to grab a fresh towel just so we could see how dirty it was, and it certainly didn't disappoint. All right guys, well after 10 hours of work, all the dust is gone and this Jetta is looking better than ever. It's definitely ready for a new life with a new owner. Now if you guys enjoyed this transformation, make sure you smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to check out the new Yard Geek video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.